Hi everyone and welcome back to Tennis Time. Now in the next segment I'm going to look ahead of the French Open preparation tournament history basically. I'm going to look at the bigger tournaments, the Monaco Masters, the Hamburg/Madrid Masters and the Rome Masters 1000. So these are the three clay court Masters which are played ahead of the French Open. So if you look at the screen here, I've tried to color code it a little bit so it's easily recognizable to everybody. So if you look at Nadal, this is his performance at the Monaco Masters. So many times where he's done well here, he's won the French Open as well. You can see Federer playing the final many times. Djokovic winning here twice, and this year it was Tsitsipas who won. So here you see the winners, here you see the finalists. This is Hamburg and Madrid. Since starting with 2005 up until 2008 it was Madrid. After that it was Hamburg, and since 2009 it got switched to Madrid. So Hamburg, Madrid. And also Rome. You see the utter dominance by Djokovic and Nadal since 2005. Only Murray and Zverev managed to win once since 2005, so that's quite impressive. And here you can see the names. So the guys who normally do here well also do well here over here at the French Open. So color code here or there, I think this is not really telling you or showing you the story I want to tell you. So I made some additional stats here. So if you look specifically at Nadal, he's won Monaco 11 times. Madrid clay, he's won 4 times. Rome, he's won 10 times. And the French, 13 times. So he's been in the Monaco final once, where he's lost. Madrid 3 losses and Rome 2 losses, both coming to Djokovic. This is by far the most impressive Grand Slam appearance. So I'm saying that wrong. So this is by far the most impressive clay court performance of any player ever. Federer and Djokovic, the records they have on clay is also really impressive. Djokovic is even more so than Federer's, because if you look at it, he's won 5 Rome, 3 Madrid and 2 Monaco titles. So that makes it 10 Masters victories. He's won the French Open, in quotation marks, only once. And finals he's had in Monaco 2. He's never lost the Madrid final, and he's been 6 times in the final in Rome. So losing 6 times, and 4 French Open finals which he's lost. 3 of them to Nadal, 1 to Wawrinka. So if you look even at Murray, so winning Madrid once, winning Rome once, being in the French Open final once, 1 more Rome final and 1 more Madrid final. So compared to Dominic Thiem, who is held or regarded as one of the best clay court players nowadays, if we don't necessarily take into consideration his poor performance this year, even before that, so look at this. He's played the Madrid Masters final twice. So his Monaco, Madrid, Rome appearances are relatively poor considering the fact that he's reached the French Open final twice. This is interesting. So this would tell us that even though throughout the years he's just managed to reach 2 clay court Masters finals. Nonetheless, he's reached the French Open final twice, the semi-final 2 more times. It doesn't necessarily have to be an indicator of his performance at the French Open, so maybe we'll see something similar this year. But let's wait and see. I mean, even Zverev's record at clay court events is better prior to the French Open. Look at this. He's won Rome once, he's won Madrid twice, and he's had one more Rome final. The French Open, no finals, no semi-finals either. But who knows, maybe this year it will be different. If you look at Tsitsipas, so he has two finals. He's won one in Monaco, and he's lost one in Madrid. So relatively good results on clay in the last 2 years, I should say. He's reached the semis last year. Given the fact how well he's played throughout this clay court season, I think he's really one of the top contenders for the French Open this year. So one other thing I tried to look at was a winner of a Masters 1000 ahead of the French Open, winning the French Open. What's the pattern there? So 9 out of 16 times in Monaco. 9 times when the player has won, Monaco has won the French Open. That's mostly because of Nadal. Once the finalist in Monaco has won the French. 6 times when somebody has won Madrid out of 12 has won the French Open. 8 out of 16 times in Rome when somebody has won Rome has won the French Open. In Madrid, once the finalist winning the French Open, and in Rome 3 times out of 16 the finalist winning the French Open. So I know these are just stats, and I'm looking at history, and history doesn't have to repeat itself all the time. But the probability of somebody winning Rome and Monaco is a higher indicator that they're going to do well at the French Open. So that means Tsitsipas winning Monaco this time and Nadal winning Rome this time. I think they're going to be right up there. So something else I wanted to look at, given the fact that especially at the beginning of this clay court season there was a lot of talk about Nadal's performances. He's not particularly doing well at clay events, and losing in Monaco and losing in Madrid, and this is not the Nadal we used to, and all kind of stuff and talk like that. So I wanted to show you, and I wanted you to have a look at the performances he's had on clay since 2005, since when he's won his first Masters event on clay, and since he's won his first French Open. So if you look at this, so in 2005 and 6, he wins Monte Carlo, he wins Barcelona, and he wins Rome. And he wins the French Open. In 2007, in he wins Monte Carlo, he wins Barcelona, he wins Rome, he wins the French Open. The only exception is he's played Hamburg, the Hamburg Masters as well, and he's reached only the final. So he had a loss in the final of Hamburg against Federer in 2007. So in the first 3 years out of these tournaments, he's had only one loss, and he was won the French Open every time. 2008, wins Monte Carlo, wins Barcelona, wins Hamburg, where he loses out at Rome. If I remember correctly, he's lost to Juan Carlos Ferrero, and he had sort of a foot injury, but he recovered for the French, and he's won the French. So here you can see one loss against Ferrero. 2009, only one loss ahead of the French Open. in the final of Madrid. He wins Barcelona, he wins Monaco, he wins Rome, and he loses out in the French Open against Söderling, so that was a big surprise. So in 2010, he has no losses whatsoever, so this is mightily impressive. He wins Monte Carlo, he decides not to play in Barcelona. He wins Madrid, he wins Rome, and he wins the French Open, and he beats Söderling in the final, the guy he's lost to the year prior in the 4th round. So 2011, this is a year where he has 2 losses, 2 big losses on the clay ahead of the French Open. So he wins Monaco, he wins Barcelona, he loses in the final of Madrid and Rome, back to back to Djokovic. So this is the first time he loses to Djokovic on a clay court, and there's a special because both are in Masters 1000 finals. Nonetheless, he plays Federer in the final at the French. He avoids playing Djokovic because Federer has beaten Djokovic in the semi prior, so he wins the French Open. 2012. So what happens in 2012? He has only 1 loss in Madrid. That's the year when Madrid was played on the blue clay. Wins Monte Carlo, wins Barcelona, wins Rome, wins the French Open. 2013 gets a little bit tricky. He loses the final against Djokovic, but he wins Barcelona, he wins Madrid, he wins Rome, and he wins the French. So really very dominant in 2013, the only hiccup against Djokovic in the final of Monaco. 2014, so now this is the year which gets more interesting, because this is the first time ever you see Nadal lose 3 matches on clay ahead of the French Open in these big preparation tournaments. So he loses in the quarters of Barcelona and Monte Carlo, both. He loses to Ferrer in Monte Carlo, he loses to Almagro in Barcelona, and he loses in the final against Djokovic in Rome. Nonetheless, he goes on, wins the French Open, beats Djokovic in the final in 4 sets. So 2015 is one of the worst years he's had altogether, and you can see this on clay as well. So he loses to Djokovic in the Monte Carlo semi, he loses to Fognini in the 3rd round in Barcelona, he loses the Madrid final against Murray. Very surprising, this is his first loss against Murray on a clay court. And then he loses out in the quarters to Wawrinka in Rome. And then he loses in the quarters of the French against Djokovic. So definitely 4 losses ahead of the French Open is the most he's had where he did not win the title. 2016, so very good start, wins Monaco, wins Barcelona, gets to the semis in Madrid, and he loses to Murray again, and loses out in the quarterfinal in 2016 to Djokovic. So only 2 losses, goes to the French Open, wins first 2 matches, and has to pull out and cannot play the 3rd round because he has a serious wrist injury. So that is playing the rest of his season in 2016, and I don't think this is really conclusive because he just couldn't finish the French Open. So going ahead in 2017, he has that sort of a resurrection where he wins Monte Carlo again, he wins Barcelona again, he wins Madrid. He loses out in the quarters against Dominic Thiem in Rome, but wins the French Open nonetheless. He beats Thiem in the semis at the French in 3 straight sets. 2018, what happens? He loses just the 1 match ahead of the French Open in the quarterfinals of Madrid, again against Thiem. Wins Monaco, wins Barcelona, wins Rome, wins the French. And this time he beats Thiem in the final of the French. So 2019, maybe this is a little bit similar this year to the 2021 year. Just a little bit. So Nadal loses 3 matches on clay ahead of the French Open. He loses in the semi-final in Monaco against Fognini. He loses in the semi-final in Barcelona against Thiem. He loses in the semi-final in Madrid to Tsitsipas. then he wins Rome. He's beaten Djokovic in the Rome final, and then he goes on and wins the French, and he beats Thiem in the final. So last year we have a very strange situation. He has just one loss against anybody, against Schwarzmann as a preparation tournament in Rome, but nonetheless wins the French. We didn't have Monaco, we didn't have Barcelona, we didn't have Madrid. All were cancelled. Only the Rome Masters was played ahead of the French Open, and he's won 2 matches, then lost to Schwarzmann in the quarters. Nonetheless, wins the French, beats Schwarzmann in the semis, and beats Djokovic in the final. So now, 2021 comes along. First loss in Barcelona. First loss in Monte Carlo against Rublev. So here, he bounces back and wins Barcelona, beats Tsitsipas in the final, then loses again to Zverev in the quarters of Madrid, but then has this fantastic run in Rome and beats Djokovic in the final. So that begs the question, is Nadal the favorite for the French Open? So given the track record he's had, and he's had only the 2 losses in the end, eventually ahead of the French Open in 2021, and given the way he's won Barcelona and he's won Rome, to me he's most definitely the favorite to win the French Open. Although I know anything can happen. He can have a wrist injury again, he can have a bad match again, something can come up, a Söderling can come up, he can be pushed out of the French Open. However, the possibility or probability of that is, I think, quite low. He's won, as you can see in this stat, since 2005 up until now, today, 38 tournaments, counting Monaco, Barcelona, Madrid, and Rome, and Hamburg. So that's quite fantastic, I think. Okay, the final segment of this video is looking back at the clay court season of 2021. So you can see Cagliari 250 event, Marbella 250. Played at the same time. We have winners in Sonego, Carreño Busta, and Laszlo Djere, and Jaume Munar playing the finals. These guys reaching the semis. Big thing for Carlos Alcaraz, playing his first semi-final at the ATP Tour level. So Monaco, winner Tsitsipas, finalist Rublev, Casper Ruud in the semis, Dan Evans in the semis. Barcelona, Nadal Tsitsipas final, Nadal winning, Carreño Busta and Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner, first time for him in a semi for 500 on clay. Belgrade, we have Berrettini Karatsev winning, Taro Daniel losing out in the semis against Berrettini, and Karatsev beating Djokovic in that semi. Munich, Basilashvili winning in Germany again after his 2 Hamburg titles in the past. Struff making it for the first time in a final of an ATP event at the age of 31, loses out to Basilashvili. Ruud again doing well in the semis, and Ilya Ivashka, the guy who's really had a good match against Nadal in the opening stages of the Barcelona tournament. Almost puts out Nadal, but not just. Beats Zverev in Munich and reaches the semis. Estoril, so Albert Ramos Vignolas is one of his best tournaments throughout the year. He beats Cameron Norrie in the final in a tight 3-setter. Cilic making a resurgence on clay. Davidovich Fokina making a breakthrough, reaching the semi. So the Madrid Masters, I've talked about this, Zverev beating Berrettini in the final, Ruud again in the semis, Thiem on his first comeback, relatively good result, discounting the disastrous matches played against Zverev. Rome, I've talked about it, fantastic tournament, probably the best tournament of the year so far. Nadal, Djokovic in the final, Opelka and Sonego reaching the semis. Geneva is interesting because we had the comeback of Roger Federer on clay. He's played Pablo Andujar in his first match back. He was the number 1 seed. He had a first round bye. Andujar played some good matches throughout this clay season. Has taken the first set against Federer. Federer really bouncing back strongly in the second, having a 4-2 lead in the third. Andujar just too strong in the end, in the sense that he had a lot more match practice and he was a little bit safer with his shots, not making too many mistakes in the end, and he's broken Roger twice and has taken 6-4 in the third set. So sadly for Federer out in Geneva, he wanted probably a stronger and better preparation because he's playing the French Open. The French Open for him is going to be a preparation for the grass season ahead of Wimbledon. That's why he sees his best chances to win. I think Federer's played a good comeback match. Andujar was just a tick stronger. I think if Federer cuts out those errors and gets a little bit more match practice, which he actually could get at the French Open, he could do quite well there. So Andujar reaches the semis after putting out Federer. Also does Pablo Cuevas, Casper Ruud winning now not just the semi-final but a win at the Geneva Open, beating Shapovalov in 2 straight sets, but it was a really close final. And Lyon parallel played to the Geneva Open. Musetti reaches the semis, loses to Tsitsipas. Khachanov reaches the semis and loses out to Norrie. Norrie, a second appearance in a final. Norrie loses the final to Tsitsipas. So we still have 2 matches, two tournaments to be completed this week, Belgrade and Parma. These are just 250 events. I'm not feeling that this is too much of a consequence for the French Open. The only interesting thing about Belgrade is that Djokovic elected to play. The week ahead the French Open, it seems that he's going to play Belgrade. This is quite unusual for him the week before Slam. He has done it before, but let's see if this helps his preparation for the French. So finally you can see the tournament wins. So out of these players, everybody who's reached the semi-final on a clay event, starting with the Cagliari Open this year. Nadal has 2 tournament victories, so does Tsitsipas, because after winning Monaco, Tsitsipas has just won Lyon, a 250 event. So these are the guys with the most match wins. Tsitsipas has 16 matches won, Nadal has 14 matches won, Tsitsipas the 3 losses, Nadal just the 2. Zverev winning the Madrid Masters, Ruud winning in Geneva and playing 3 semis. So player in form, winning 15 matches, losing the 4. Sonego winning Cagliari and reaching the Rome final. He has a 9-2 win-loss record. Carreño Busta, the 1 tournament win in Marbella, another semi. Berrettini, 1 victory in Belgrade, the Madrid final, 10-3 match win-loss record. Basilashvili, 1 victory, 1 semi, and the last player winning a tournament on clay this year is Albert Ramos Vignolas from Estoril, making another semi, and he has a 10-4 win-loss record. So the other ones you can see here have reached at least 1 final or 1 semi-final, and you can see the respective win-loss records they have posted this year so far on these tournaments. As I said, the last 2 tournaments not of too much consequence, I think, as a preparation for the French Open. So basically this is my review of the 2021 clay court season ahead of the French Open. Please let me know what you think, comment down below, and see you in the next video.